Alright, run through the basics of crop feeding. Pretty easy. For cockatiels, you need a crop needle. 14 gauge. You're never going to be able to read that. 14 gauge crop needle. Food temperatures, you generally want them around 41, around about 48. You've got multiple chicks. They don't all hatch at the same time, so start with the youngest and work your way up to the oldest when the food's warm. The older they are, the cooler the food can be. You just don't want it ice cold because it can cause crop stasis. Or other problems, so you take your little baby. I'm left-handed, so it's a lot easier for me. Atomically, you want to go down the left side of their throat. So, the bar up under the beak, the ball on that side, pull it across, roll it up, and over the back of the tongue, straight down. Shouldn't feel any resistance. The way you hold them, take them in your hand like that. Finger up under the neck, thumb behind the ear, stretch, not hard, doesn't hurt them, just enough to straighten the neck. Like I said, hook it, up and over and down. You shouldn't feel any resistance. Be careful not to push the crop needle too far. You can hurt them. You got a little bit too much, but that'll pass through pretty quickly. Might be a little bit of air in there. You ever see like an idiot sticking a pin in the crop of a bird to get the air out? They're idiots. Don't do that. You're hurting the bird. Introducing risks of infection. And they burp that crap out anyway. But you take your little babies, give them a feed, give them a scratch, put them back in a clean nest box. And here he is. It's the second youngest. How you hold him. Hold him in your hand like that. Finger under the chin. Thumb behind the ear. Stretch the neck up. Hook. Roll up. Over. He might fight a little bit. He doesn't want it. As soon as they feel that food go in, they tend to relax. That's it. He hasn't got a bunch of crap all over his face or anything like that. He's not spitting it out. Good. Oh, little fella, out you come. Yeah, out of there. Now, I've only started supplement feeding a few days ago, so they're not quite used to it yet. Our parents haven't been doing a very good job of feeding them, so got to keep a close eye on them. But when you hold them, little feet, or just let them sit on either my little finger or the one next to it, depending on their size. But it's the way you hold them. Get them in your hand like that, finger up under the chin, finger behind his ear like that. You just stretch his neck up a little bit. Careful not to hurt him. He didn't want that one, and he pushed. In, up and over. In, up and... Oh, you're really pissed off, huh? Come on. You've got to be very careful not to. You want the crop needle in far enough down their throat, but you don't want it too far in, so you're bottoming out in the bottom of the crop and injuring them. Be very careful, because you don't want to get the food down their airways. Drown them. Yeah, didn't like that. Pissed him off. He's getting over it now. Alright, here you go. So if your bird isn't trained to take medicines, it's an excellent way to deliver it. So with adult cockatiels, a mil and a half thereabouts of food, that's enough. You generally want the medicine in the needle, and you want the needle full. So you don't want any negative space in there. You want a little bit of food in this food up the syringe, and you want the food in the needle. It just makes it harder for them to spit out, because they will do it. I had one a couple of years ago. She got crop infection. It's a chick for an abandoned clutch. Pretty crappy breeder. Anyway, doesn't matter. Poor thing, got her abandoned chicks. She had a crop infection. Basic treat, take vet, antibiotics, and antifungal, I believe. Niacin or something like that, I think it's called. Anyway, she got through that one, and about 6 months later, injured her toe, got another infection. And yeah, she wouldn't take the medicine, so I was just crop feeding her the medicine. She managed to spit enough of it out for the antibiotics not to work. So you have to keep a close eye on them, make sure they're actually keeping the medicine in. So I had quite a few sick birds at the time. I wasn't able to observe her as closely as I could. You know, she's buried out there on the balcony in a pot. I really love that bird. Anyway, hold on like that. Right. Up under the chin, thumb behind the head, just behind the... and then you just go up and over and down. So a little bit of food come up then. So I didn't have the crop needle down far enough. Huffed a bit of it up. As soon as I seen that, stop. Could aspirate him. And once they get used to it, the food does taste quite good for them. And it goes to the guy. I don't want, with the oldest one, I don't want to send the needle too far down his throat. I actually want him to taste the food. Once they get used to it, the needle, seeing it, your hands, all that, taste the food. You don't have to stick the needle all the way down their throat. They'll just shove their face over it. That's pretty much it. You only really don't need to take them off the parents. Good if they're tame. Easier. You only have to feed them like this 2-3 times a day. They'll imprint on you. Start when the oldest one is about 2 weeks. The oldest ones generally come out a little bit more independent. So literally the oldest chick. Because you start around about 2 weeks. But yeah, sweet birds. It solves for a lot of the problems too, so you don't get a lot of the less chance of inappropriate bonding and all that sort of stuff, like bird thinking you're its mate. And it doesn't take them long to get used to handle. You just feed them a couple of times a day, let the parents take care of them, parents will sit on them, teach them to fly, all the flock calls, all that sort of stuff. Makes training and breeding these guys a little easier. A lot of time. Feeding schedules are quite intensive, and you have to actually like stick to it. If you don't, not ideal. Let's feed them. And you spend a little bit of time with them like this. And them get used to being touched, petted. Because their instinct is more or less hardwired to find somewhere warm. Doesn't take them very long to get content in your hand. When they're like this, all covered in pin feathers, they're itchy. So they love a scratch. All the babies love a scratch, but sometimes they grow out of it. One of my duck pieds, when he was a baby, I thought, oh yeah, he'll always be like all scratchy and smoochy and all that. And in about 6 months, and then he just like totally grew out of it. But that's it. Pretty simple. Just be careful. Read as much as you can. Do some research. I'm not saying go and like start crop feeding your birds. I'm just showing you how to do it. If you haven't done it before, I'd suggest speaking to your aviary vet and getting them to teach you how to do it. Don't use the rubber crop needles, the flexible ones. Those are generally the ones that get disconnected and lost in a bird's crop. Surgery to get them out. And you want to make sure whatever crop needle you're using can't physically go all the way down the bird's esophagus. It's always going to be too long and stick out. If it can go in all the way, you use a finch-sized crop needle or something like that on a cockatiel and it pops off. That's gone. Straight down. Some of those crappy rubber ones. Yeah, but clean hands, quality food. Check your temperatures. Use the right equipment. And educate yourself. That's pretty much it. So many people take these guys, breed them. And they're fledgling birds and sell them as hand-raised. Like $25, hand-raised cockatiel. And you have a look at it and the back of its head's all mould, pecked up. And the parents have drove it out of the box so they could spit out another clutch of eggs. Yeah. And these guys too. So the price is too good to be true for a hand-raised bird. Or you're seeing indications of injuries and plucking and stuff like that. Chances are it's too good to be true. Unless a breeder could show you this. Our last clutch, all tame and free. Yeah, don't believe them. That's it. Have fun.